Hello, welcome everybody. I am so excited. It's Tea Thursday instead of Tea Tuesday because Thursdays are working out better for me than Tuesdays as I'm working on getting some more relaxation and a little bit more peace in my life with some of the responsibilities I have. So we have tea tonight. We are using the Royal Albert Moonlit Roses mug, and I have something fun to show you. And I'm having Earl Grey with lavender. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll probably have seen this, but I finally found the tea set of Moonlit Roses, and this is the first time I am actually using the teapot. I was finally brave enough to attempt to put tea in it. It was a success, which is fabulous. And then I also have the little cream jug. There's the open sugar bowl. I really wish it would have been the lidded one, but I couldn't find a set like that. And then it's got the little platter on which those sit. So that is fabulous. This actually might be a cake platter as well. Let's see if it says anything on it. It does not. I have to measure it against my other cake plate because it kind of looks like it. But it does hold the sugar and the creamer bowl quite nicely. But the tray may go in the cabinet, in the other cabinet. So I am so happy that now I have a full set of Moonlit Roses Royal Albert China, which is a dream come true. I've been wanting a set of china. I don't know. My husband's watching. Maybe he can remember how long it's been. But it really has been forever. But he says, hello, everyone. So if you're here, go ahead and say hi in the chat below. I'm very excited to take the opportunity to sit down and just talk with you guys about everything that's gone on in my life in the past week and things that have been happening. And as Matt says, it's been years and years and years. I want to say it's probably like 15, 20 years that I've wanted a set of china, and it's taking me this long to piecemeal. I got the 8-piece set last year, and it was early last year, I think, and it took me just over a year to be able to locate a tea set that I felt was reasonably enough priced and that I could afford to get. So that is absolutely exciting and so much fun to have. But let's dive into how things have been going the last couple weeks. As I alluded to, I have done some shifting with my schedule, trying to balance the fact that I work full time, I'm wanting to run a business, and I still want to do this channel and things like that. And while the channel and the business are kind of sort of the same entity in a lot of ways, I still needed to make sure that I had some downtime, and I crashed and burned last week with stress and just exhaustion and quite frankly, in general, with triple B and E as well, it was a rough week. But I did spend some time resting and relaxing and recouping and coming up with a strategy that was actually going to work for me moving forward. And this is my first week implementing it. And it's been nice so far. I've had less pressure on myself. Still lots of pressure, of course, and lots of things that I'm still trying to do as I am getting the coaching business up off the ground. There's a lot of things that I've chunking into small pieces that are taking me longer. And I have some pressing things with that too. So there is a little bit more time and effort and work going into that. But I'm so excited. You should be able to see the new logo up in the corner. And I'm very, very happy about that. It's perfect. I love that the butterfly represents change and transition and growth and things like that. So that is why I have picked the butterfly. And of course, the pink and the white and the apple blossoms, they all go together. They're all my thing. The apple blossoms have been a part of that forever. And it just is nice to have like a cohesive, nice piece. But I do want to talk about today's title first, which is Keto and Anxiety, and how keto has helped my anxiety. There is a video coming out tomorrow, which will show a picture of this whole event. So, Tuesday night, or afternoon, really, it was afternoon night, I went to Disney Springs because House of Blues was having an Alex Warren concert. And I bought my tickets a few weeks ago. I was super excited to go. I don't do well in very large in crowded places, especially in like a small, very confined space. But I do like to step out of my comfort zone and do things that are fun and different. And that was that concert for me. So I lined up at Disney Springs at like 4:15, and I was already probably 300 people back. I found out afterwards that House of Blues is notorious for overselling and really packing in the people. So I waited in line, and line was fine. I had AirPods. Well, Matt brought me my AirPods, which was very nice. But I had a book, and I just kind of got like some small tasks done that I could do from my phone while I was waiting in line. Enjoyed the scenery, things like that. And again, Matt brought me my AirPods about halfway through ish the line time, which helped because it gave me music and then it allowed me to go to a bathroom break. But by the time we got into the building, I found a spot on the general floor, and it was so crowded. I had less than 6 inches of space on all arounds. I did find a spot that was against like the sound booth in the wall. It just helped me feel more relaxed and stuff like that. There is a time where I never would have been able to walk into the building that crowded and be able to reasonably function, I guess would be a good way to say it. I would have left. I would have never attempted to go. And keto has really helped reduce my anxiety and things like this. I still have an issue. I'm not going to say that I don't. I always will. But it gives me the ability to be able to go and do those things that I wouldn't necessarily have done before. I did nearly leave the concert because at one point there was people on each side of me touching me, and there's a guy standing in front of me, and he's literally like 3 inches from me, and I was starting to panic. I immediately put in my AirPods. It was before the concert started. I was doing some box breathing and some deep breathing, and I blared music in my ears, trying to distract myself. And I texted Matt. I was able to calm down a little bit, and Matt reminded me that once the music starts, people are going to push closer to the stage anyway. And they did to a degree, and I had just a little bit more of room. But I wouldn't say that I was particularly comfortable in my environment all night. I was just very aware of everybody being right there. But I did end up relaxing and enjoying the concert, and it was a fabulous time for me. So I was really blessed to be able to go and do that. And I did it by myself, which is even a bigger, huge step in my journey with anxiety and things like that, because I don't really go out and do things like that by myself. So I absolutely I enjoyed it. Wish things were slightly different in other things, but it is what it is. So, some knitting did take place the other day, and you would be kind of surprised, I guess. It's not a project, it's not the sweaters that I was working on. They're still sitting there. I don't know when I'm going to have time to pick it up. But I got the bug to sit down and knit the other day, and I found a pair of socks where I had the first one has been done for, I don't know, forever. It's not even funny how long. But I picked it up, and it was just after the hill, so I only did an inch, but I do have it. And I think that this sock is going to go to work with me tomorrow because work has been very slow. We're at the tail end of our slow season. I put it this way, by 10:30 we had all of our work done, and we were all just sitting there waiting for phone calls. and reservations to come in over and through the email and stuff like that. It was very, very slow. So today I practiced my speech for the meetup on Saturday. I typed it all out. I brainstormed some ideas for the channel and for other things and some video ideas and things like that. I did a little bit of coloring on my iPad, but I think tomorrow I'm going to bring a sock. I kept trying to read my book today, and I'll talk about the book that I'm reading. And every time I got started with reading the book, the phone rang and it was annoying. But if I didn't read the book, the phone didn't ring. So my strategy is going to be tomorrow. I'll just bring some knitting and we'll see how the phone does. It might be a little bit busier on a Friday, but maybe not. The hotel is mostly booked anyway because we have a bunch of cheerleaders there. So there's not a whole lot availability for this weekend. So it might not be very busy. It'll be probably pick up in another week or so and it'll start getting busy for summer. We're pretty much already sold out for Memorial Day. So a lot of the calls that we're getting are about that and people are disappointed, but it is what it is. Books. So I did finish Ward D, which was the book that I had chose for the book club, which of course nobody was really interested in. So book club's dead, which is fine. I don't really have the time for it anyway, but it is nice to be able to have finished the book. It is definitely cheer season in Central Florida. And the funny thing is one of the groups of cheerleaders that is with us, we were all surprised. They're British. And I kind of had it in my head, and other people did too, that cheerleading was just like an American thing, but apparently it's not. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, back to Word D. I did finish this book. I enjoyed it for the most part. It wasn't super a psychological thriller for me anyway. It wasn't twists and turns for me. I I kind of pegged it from the beginning, which is honestly, this is why I don't read a lot of psychological thrillers because I can peg them at the beginning and it doesn't take me on that emotional ride like it does people who don't see it coming. But I still very much enjoyed this because she was on a psych ward and my background is psychology and things like that. And I will say that there was one part in here that I didn't see coming. I didn't see it coming until the very end. So there was one twist that it wasn't like a huge twist, but it just kind of you kind of went, ooh, that just made you mad when you found out about it for the main character. But I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read it. But I did enjoy it. I have one more Frida McFadden book in my stash of books. It's The Boyfriend. Hopefully I'll pick that up soon. But right now, I went back to my roots of dark romance or my love of dark romance right now. So I am enjoying that. Hello, Mary. I'm so glad that you could join us and that you are able to catch a live. And I did do a tiny bit of knitting. Hopefully, there'll be some more. Like I said, I'm really excited to be able to knit some socks. I just kind of feel like that's what I want to knit right now. So I'm excited to bring that to work tomorrow and work on it. And I'll have more progress to show you next week for sure. Okay, so the book that I did finish that I'm so excited about, I read, I don't know if I can grab it. Yes, I actually can. So I read this book a while back. This is Pen Pal by J.T. Gleisinger, and I loved it. This one was a thriller. This one had a twist that I did not see coming. But it also wasn't, it was like a romantic thriller. So thrill wasn't the main part. It just had this nice, huge twist at the end that you went, oh my gosh, I did not see that one coming at all. But anyway, I really like J.T. Gleisinger's writing. So after I read that, she recently came out with a republished, they're traditionally published this time, a series called Ruthless Creatures. Or actually, it's called A Queens and Monsters novel. This is book one. It's got purple sprayed edges. and it's about the mafia, um, Russian mafia, I believe. Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger. And there is my iPad telling me about the book. So that's cancel. All right. Well, at least Siri listened. But anyway, I picked this up last week when I was wanting some time to just be somewhere else and do something else and not have to worry and just kind of relax and de-stress. So I gobbled this book up so fast and really enjoyed it. It is dark. It is very spicy. It's not like super dark. It's a little dark, but it's not one of the darkest ones I've read. But it is definitely very spicy. If you've never read a J.T. Geisinger book and you like spice, she has some amazing spicy scenes. That's all I'm going to say. So I did finish this one last week, barreled through it super, super quickly, and I'm not very far in it. I'm like 10 pages in chapter 2. But this book is book 2, and it's Carnal Urges. What I liked about it is it's different set of main characters in here, and the female main character was introduced in this book. This book left off with a scene with her that picked up immediately in this book. So I really loved that transition because it finished there, and then you were drawn in enough that you could not wait to start the next book. So I did start that. And I didn't get very far, but hopefully I'll do some reading this evening. So those are what I'm working on. And then the only books that I have bought in the past couple of weeks have been J.T. Geisinger. This is the rest of the series. Books 3 and 4 came out like 2 weeks ago, I think it was now. So I did grab those so that I could be reading those and enjoying those. And like I said, I really enjoy her stuff. She's got some very spicy stuff, which is for me, I love, because I'm a spicy book reader and a romance reader by heart. It's what I've been reading for a really long time. All right. Business updates. I onboarded my first client this week, and I'm so excited about it. I was very nervous yesterday when she did her onboarding before the appointment. The more I just prepped for it, I was able to go over her intake form, and then I just wrote myself a list of questions, like dozens of questions, like that I could potentially ask, just so I had time to think and process things. Not that I was going to guarantee that I was going to ask her those questions, because I do like to stay in the moment and let the client lead, which the client should lead anyway, and let the conversation flow from there. It is very exciting to have my first client, so I'm very, very excited about that. And it was great. The session went really, really well. My client is very excited to get started. I think she's going to do amazing. And of course, I will not give huge updates about that because that's her private stuff. But I will talk about my experience with that and relations to me, but there will be no private information, of course, from her unless she decides to share a testimony. And for the record, I can say her because all my clients are going to be women, because that is my target market. So it's generic and you won't really get to see that. But I'm very excited too, because I have another client meeting next week, and I've chatted with this person before. So, and she's already pretty much assured me that she's wanting to sign up. So we just have to go through the process. So that is going to be client number 2. But I do want to talk about it here because I mentioned it in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, you might want to join, because I give them alerts to things early when I remember to. But I am going to be having a grand opening sale for my coaching business. So if you book a discovery call and sign up for a 12-week coaching program in the month of May, pay for that in full, you will receive a 40% discount on the 12-week coaching program. So it's not a small discount, it's a big discount. One caveat is I have 2 spots left for it. So if you want them, you can head to either my website and you can book that free discovery call, or you can head to the Facebook group and do it. There's a link in there and information in there, or you can simply just send me an email at sarahsjoyfuljourney@gmail.com and say, hey, I'm really interested. I couldn't find the link, and I'll send you the link and we can chat, and then we can get you signed up if that is what you are wanting to do. And right now, because I still have a full-time job, my coaching spots are going to be pretty limited. And I'll add as I get more comfortable, but I think at the moment, I do not want any more than four, four coaching clients at one time in a 12-week program. I want to get comfortable and get into the rhythm of coaching and see how that goes. And that's a reasonable number for me without feeling super, super stressed out. And I feel like I'll be able to balance it. And then once I get used to it and I go, oh, I could add another one here, I could add another one there, then I'll have like more spots and be able to do more availability and things like that. But you're definitely going to want to like join the channel. The website is going to be getting updated in the next week. It had a tiny, tiny update on the front page. It talks about you can book my discovery call from the main page of my website. That was all I was able to manage this week, but it's awesome. And thank you to my wonderful husband who just dropped the link for the Facebook group into the chat. So thank you so much for that. But anyway, I'm very excited about it. I know that I'm going to have specials sometimes depending on the season, the month, things like that. And I have a lot of different opportunities. It's not just a one-on-one coaching thing. There's going to be opportunities to have like mini challenges or self-guided challenges. Like maybe we'll be working on a specific thing at a specific time together, and then I'll open up some spots for that and be able to get you. And anytime we do like a challenge or something like that, there will always be like a special attached with it that will help save you some extra dollars, because we'll be doing it in tandem. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Other things that I'm working on is hopefully once the website gets up, I do want to start a newsletter and things like that so that I can start keeping you updated with like health topics and things like that. So be on the lookout for that if you're wanting to sign up for that. It's truly appreciated. And I am very, very, very excited about this journey. It is anxiety producing in some ways, mostly because I am so excited about it, but I'm prepared for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely prepared for it. But it's one of those things where it's just like I kind of have that, what if it doesn't go well? What if it doesn't do this? What if you fall on your face? What if this completely fails? So it's all those like what if things. And every time I get a what if, I simply take some deep breaths. I say a prayer. I ask a friend to pray. And then I barrel straight into whatever it is that I am working on at that moment, because that just lets me keep moving forward and not allowing myself to stop when I have those doubts. And it's growth for sure, because there's a lot of times where previously I would have been like, no, I'm not doing that. That's so far out of my comfort zone. And the coaching part is the easier part for me. I definitely have more skills to learn and grow. And that's just going to be getting practice and getting clients done. In order to do that, I have to book clients and I have to put myself out there, and I have to be out there and ready to go. But it'll be worth it. And I don't do great at like the tech stuff. So it's really like pushed me out of my comfort zone on that. But it's been an amazing journey, and I am overwhelmed with the joy of it every time that I sit here and I realize that I just did this. I said I was going to do this huge goal, and I just massively accomplished it. And I didn't let fear hold me back, and I didn't let things get in my way. I set that goal with intention. I did the schooling, thought I was going to do one way, changed directions, and achieved my goal so much faster. I will probably be, by the end of next week, I will probably have my Master Coach certification. It could be the week after. It just depends on when she grades my last assignment, which was submitted. But it will be backdated for me until the date that when I turn that in. That's the date that will be on my certificate. So technically, you can kind of sort of say that I'm master coach now because I have completed the bulk of that program, just waiting for her to finish grading something. And then I have 2 classes left to do. So it's amazing. And yes, face everything and rise is a good thing. I used to choose to do an about face and run the other direction. So that is an amazing amount of growth for me to show that and share that. And I will definitely be talking about this journey and this portion of my life because I am very passionate about it. And it's not so much from like a salesy standpoint of I want you to sign up, which I would love for you to do, but there is no pressure to do that. That's on you, but I'm just getting to share the joy and the journey of that. And I'm most excited about helping other women get on a path where they find food freedom and they can take control of their lives and they can pursue that joy and get that joy back in their life. Because I know that there was a lot of times where I just didn't have that joy and I wasn't a very joyful person and things like that. So it is amazing to be sitting here having accomplished such a massively huge goal for myself. And I'm very proud of myself. And I don't say that like hoity toity, fluty type thing, like super prideful. But it was a big thing. It was a huge step, and I did it. And I love that I've done it. And I'm genuinely excited to see where the future is going to go with that. But that is all I have for you this week on this edition of Tea Thursday, episode 1, technically. And I look forward to sitting down with you guys again next week in a live format. So I hope that you will enjoy this video and be on the lookout tomorrow for a special video as well. And I cannot wait till we get to sit together, enjoy some tea, and have a nice, lovely conversation again. I wish you all a wonderful and joyful evening. And remember, find joy in your journey. Bye for now.